Friday Night Baseball is next. And good evening from Midland, Texas, here in Texas League Baseball. And now here's the star of the show, John Baker. Well, thank you, Bob, and boy, what a weekend we're fixing to have as we get set for Game 4 between the visiting San Antonio Missions and your first place Midland Rockhounds. Well, gotta say it's a partly cloudy night. We'll say we'll have another sunset evening with orange skies coming around the top of the sixth inning or bottom of the sixth inning. But anyway, we're just getting ready for baseball here tonight. Well, it is the fourth game of the six-game set between San Antonio and first place Midland. And so far, we are super excited about that. Well, the Rockhounds last night, boy, 3 wins in a row against San Antonio. And I got to say, Midland pushed out front last night with 22-14. Frisco, a game and a half trailing Midland. San Antonio and Amarillo trailing 3.5 games. Corpus Christi down, trailing a boatload with 12-25. Wichita and Arkansas tied in a foot race with 20-15, 20-2016. Northwest Arkansas 19-17, Springfield 17-19, and last place is the Tulsa Drillers in the North Division. Well, gotta say it is a pretty good night as unknowingly San Antonio down in a 3-game losing streak, and tonight could change it all if they come back and win and hopefully try to get some runs on the board. Well, as we look at Tuesday morning, the final score was 11-2 as Midland won that one. It was 4-3 Wednesday night, 3-2 last night. And tonight we are looking, hopefully, at something different. But anyway, that just depends how many hard-hit balls there is, and especially a lot of home runs that we've been seeing through this series. Well, I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Bob. You got some comments about what we saw, 3 games here in Midland. And, pretty good that Midland's in a 3-game winning streak, right, Bob? Well, I got to say, John, Midland has been doing their best. They kept San Antonio down for the last 3 of this series. And so far, tonight is the second half of this 6-game set, and unknowingly, it's probably going to be a little bit different than what we're going to see. But anyway, hopefully that San Antonio could get a win, and they need to win at least this next half and then take it on the road against Wichita when they go back to our home ballpark in San Antonio. And so far, the wind surge will be in town, and we're going to have a lot of fun in our ballpark. Now, that is for sure. Well, anyway, as we go through the night, tonight is Friday night, $2 Dr. Pepper night, all night long. Concession stand items are $2 each. And so far, pretty good. Tomorrow evening, we'll continue our set against San Antonio, and we have our post-game fireworks extravaganza, courtesy of our car wash place here off of Wadley and 181, and so far, pretty good on that. This one brought to you in part by Taco Villa and Rose's Cafe, and also Texas Burger. We got 3 major fast food places here in Midland, Amarillo, Hobbs, San Angelo, and many other West Texas towns that Bobby Cox owns these restaurants, and yeah, they are a proud sponsor of Rockhounds baseball. But anyway, wishing they would have put Taco Villa in San Antonio. That would be pretty good to even enjoy the fresh quality of tacos, burritos, chalupas, taco salads, and the whole 9 yards. Even fresh salsa, made very hot. You know, they come in little tubes with the peelable sticker on there, and got to say, pretty good on that. But anyway, that's our proud sponsors, and so far got our proud sponsors in San Antonio. That is West Creek Trail Rides and our San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo as well, and Henry's Puffy Tacos and many others as well. Well, I gotta say, John, oh my goodness, sorry for me yawning, but gotta say, John, absolutely right about our pest supply places and proud sponsors and stuff, but anyway, pretty good as well. Well, I know it's been a long week, and we are super excited that we are the weekend now. We are super happy that we're bringing you to Franco Park for the broadcast here in Midland. It is the fourth game of our 6-game set against San Antonio, and we're just happy that you guys are here, and we want you to be well entertained in this one. And so far, it will be a pretty good rubber matchup as well. Well, anyway, we're going to take you downstairs, and this the fourth game, ready to go here against the San Antonio Missions, taking on the Midland Rockhounds. Midland wearing their road oranges tonight. San Antonio in their normal road gray casuals, and so far pretty good. Well, tomorrow night, Midland will be in their home white uniform Sunday as well, and pretty good on that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take our break before we start the ball game, and we're just happy that you are coming aboard with us here this evening. This proud broadcast brought to you in part by Taco Villa, Spice Your Life, Rose's Cafe, $7.99 Taco Tuesdays. That is $7.99. And gotta say, nothing beats a $7.99 taco plate with 3 beef tacos, rice, beans, and a nice deal of tortillas, and even Dr. Pepper or sweet tea or the preferred drink of your choice, which that is also good. Also in Rose's Cafe, we do have the fresh salsa. Salsa is really good, and they got salsa, jalapenos, and they got a stand where you can go out, get your own salsa, and it's the best salsa in the world. Nothing beats a fresh homemade salsa, which that is also good. Now, say if you want a Texas burger, if you want to go find a burger of your choice, and so far, go to Texas Burger. We got a lot here in Midland, and so far, pretty good as well. Well, anyway, hope you guys are super excited for this night as we bring you the broadcast from Midland, and hope you guys are ready for it. We'll be right back right after a commercial message. This one brought to you apart by Taco Villa, home of your Midland Rockhounds.
And now, your Midland Rockhounds.
Well, Rockhounds are now taking the field, and a right-hander, Colin Palouse, is getting the start for Midland here in Game 4 of our 6-game set. John Baker here with you in the booth. My partner Bob, we're from San Antonio, Texas. A 4-seam, a slider, a changeup, and a 2-seam fastball coming for the starter for Midland. Leadoff batter for San Antonio, Albert Fabian coming in as he'll take a first pitch in for a strike, and it's 0-1 to him as the game underway.
7 o'clock.
And all knowing we are a bit tardy here this evening, but we'll make it up to you. We got a ball game to catch. That's a liner straightaway center, and that is through for a base hit. So Fabian gets on with a leadoff single. And, yeah, that's what gets the ball game rolling on the rails. Great home crowd tonight. Here's the next batter up, catcher Ethan Salas. Salas coming in. The wind up the stretch by Palouse. Down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Boy, we're going to see a pretty good rubber matchup tonight between our starters from San Antonio Missions and the Midland Rockhounds. That one hit right there. Throw down to first, and they got him. Easy play by the pitcher to the first baseman for the out. With that, let's give the visiting San Antonio starting lineups. Fabian Salas, Mears be the leadoff 3. Castellon, Campbell, and Roederer will be the middle 3. Rojas, Cedeno, and Leo Dallas DeVries will round out the batting order for San Antonio. Center fielder Joshua Mears coming in is ready to go. That one's going to be a ground hopper to third, to first, and they get him easily. So 2 up, 2 down, but that'll put the runner now going to second. Pretty good. First baseman Marcos Castellon coming in. So ready to go here in this one. Runner in scoring position there at second. That's a liner. That is straight away, deep to left center. That's a base hit. And San Antonio scores first. It's a 1-0 RBI double.
That is it. The right fielder.
So they come in full frontal attack. And that was a pretty good one by Marcos Castellon. And yeah, gotta say, he blistered that ball right on the screws. And so far, San Antonio on the board. Here is right fielder Jacob Campbell as he takes a first pitch in for strike 1, and it's 0-1. 2 away, runner at second. 1-0 San Antonio here in the top of the first for their visitors. And that is a high fly in the air up to center. And that will do it for this half inning is over. Marcos Castellon gets the RBI double. And that's 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Runner on second left. And that will pretty much do it. We head to the bottom of the first inning. San Antonio leads it 1-0. Well, we're about set to go for the bottom of the first for Midland. Right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, a left-hander, Ryan Orch, coming in now for San Antonio. And what do we know, Bob? Well, got to say, four-seam slider, a curveball, and a two-seam fastball coming in for this San Antonio starter. Well, it's pretty good on that as well. Well, we lead off the bottom of the first inning for Midland. Here is shortstop Irabel Angeles, as he comes in ready to go here in this half inning. First pitch by Ryan, swing and a miss. Slider gets him going, and the count now 0-1. Well, get him outfield right there for the strike, and that's exactly what he did. He fools him good. Here's the 0-1 right there, high in the air. Cedeno gets over, and he makes the catch out there in right center field. Let's give the home team starting lineups. Angeles, Halter, and Nankiel lead off three. Kurtz, Trinkle, Schwartz, middle three. Bloop, Swift, and MacGyver will round out the batting order for the Rockhounds this evening. Second baseman Colby Halter gets things going here for Midland. And the pitch that is down inside for a code strike. It's 0-1. Corpus Christi and Frisco, they are bottom of the second inning, scoreless. Boy, starting to see some thunderstorm activity. That's round right there. Jump through, got him. And boy, what a play by shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries. And we got to look at the instant replay. He stops the ball right there, jumps, throws, and he got him right there. Beautiful play on cue. Nate Nankiel coming in, 2 away from Midland. That was instantly a base hit robbed away for the Rockhounds. Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right. And, well, so far, the base hit almost won. But if the shortstop didn't intervene in time, boy, that would have been danger for San Antonio. The tying run would have been on base. Yeah, sure would. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that is outside, 1-2. Well, I got to say, getting really good in the strike zone. And so far, that's where Orch needs to be. Now one outside, 2-2. Midland in their road oranges, San Antonio in their road grays this evening. And the pitch right there, swing and a miss. And he got him. Strikeout for San Antonio for Ryan Orch. And that will conclude the half inning. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody on for Midland. As we head to the second inning, San Antonio leads it 1-0. Designated hitter Cole Roederer will lead it off. Rojas Cedeno will be behind the designated hitter, and we'll be right back to lead it off in the second inning for San Antonio. We're right back after these commercial messages. This one brought you apart by Taco Villa. Well, we're back for the top of the second inning for San Antonio, right now the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, thank you, Bob, and glad to be with you here in beautiful Midland, Texas, as we're about set to go for the top of the second for the Missions. Here, Colin Palouse comes in, and that one is hit straight away left field, and boy, one pitch, one out. Trying to get up in there and hit a big one. Third baseman, Yendry Rojas, coming in now for San Antonio. Boy, and I would say that the Tulsa Drillers having a 12-game homestand. Leadoff 6 when Northwest Arkansas, and then taking that Monday off and having another 6, even with the Springfield Cardinals. Wow, that's pretty good. Kind of reminds me when we had our 12-game homestand with Corpus Christi and Frisco. Yeah, for sure.
The second baseman.
Well, 2 up, 2 down as Rojas down retired. Boy, still hanging on to a 1-0 lead for San Antonio. Second baseman is Nerwillian Cedeno. That one is lifted high in the air, deep to right. And that is out number 3. No runs, hits, errors, or nobody left on for San Antonio. Quick inning here. But evidently we're moving on to the bottom of 2. With the Mission still holding on by 1-0. Nick Kurtz coming in as the Rockhounds will bat in the bottom of the second. When we come back, San Antonio leading at 1-0. Bottom half of the second inning for Midland, right now the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Nick Kurtz coming in now as he'll lead it off for Midland. 4, 5, and 6. Tying run up to the plate. And the pitch. That is right there in the inside corner. And that's a strike. And it's 0-1. Boy, just glad the weekend is here. Finally get a break after pretty good day today. But evidently we're here now. We're watching baseball. We're having a pretty good weekend thus far. But even though with temperatures being up, we have to tell a lot of people to stay hydrated. That's the most important thing in baseball is to stay hydrated. Well, Kurtz gets on the base hit. And here's the next batter up, Caden Drinkle. Drinkle coming in is set to go. And a pitch. That is right there and in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Double play possibility if they ground off it to a double play. And pretty much that will be San Antonio getting their coupons instead. But two crispy tacos. Hey, we'll send you some Taco Villa from the great city of Midland. Here's the 0-2. That one high flying in the air, and that is out of play. Well, the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one high in the air, and that is out of play. So still hanging on. No balls at 2 strikes. Here's a pitch. And right there, called third strike. Got him down looking. And there's a strikeout for Ryan Orch. And a pitch. Right there, swing and a miss. Nick Schwartz coming in, the designated hitter position. Batting .219 over a 300. Had 5 home runs and 16 RBIs for Midland. And that's going to be right there. Rojas to Cedeno. They got them both. And third, second, first, and that is it. So what a play, but they only get 1 hit. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 left on. And we head to the 3rd inning. San Antonio still leads this game by 1-0. Shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries leads it off for the 3rd for San Antonio when we come back. It's Texas League Baseball. San Antonio 1, Midland 0. Top of the third inning for San Antonio, right now the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, Leo Dallas DeVries, the next batter up. 9-1-2 due up in the San Antonio. Bottom half going into the top of the order. That one is aligned right there, straight away, left center field. That's getting down a base hit, and that will put Leo Dallas DeVries to a double. By golly. And that was a pretty good, well-defined base hit right there. And the next batter up is left fielder Albert Fabian. Fabian coming in, ready to go. Runner in scoring position. Leo Dallas DeVries standing out there at second base. It's 1-for-1, a single by Fabian tonight. Top of the third inning. San Antonio leading this game by 1. Another runner out in scoring position. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, a base hit. Here comes a runner. And that's a 2-0 lead for San Antonio on an RBI single. Still nobody out. And that's going to bring in Ethan Salas. Boy, Salas coming in. And boy, they are really on fire this evening. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be the ground ball right there for 1. And they get them both. So kills a bird with one stone. Or should I say the old saying is kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, that's the old saying right there, John. Yeah, it sure is. Center fielder Joshua Mears coming in. Takes a strike inside. It's 0-1. Don't forget our broadcast time tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Sunday afternoon, right at 1. Gates open at 12 o'clock, but be here for the final game of our 6-game meetup against 2 teams, San Antonio and Midland. Midland heads to Frisco after Sunday. San Antonio heads home, and so do we. We go take on the Wichita Wind Surge after that. So right there, that will be out number 3 as Albert Fabian getting that RBI single, and that'll bring in a run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left for San Antonio. We head to the bottom of the third inning as Henry Bolt will come in for the Rockhounds. So we'll be right back on this Friday evening. It's San Antonio 2 and the Rockhounds nothing. Now set for the bottom of the third inning for Midland, right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, here is Henry Bolt. As he comes in, is ready to go. Here's pitch. That is popped foul. The count now 0-1. Seems like San Antonio trying to be the Tornado Wranglers. Oh, how do you figure? 2 runs ahead of Midland. That's pretty good for them. And so far, they got to try to keep up that deficit. Here's a 1-1. Right there, swing and a miss. The count now 1-2. Youch! That's spicy fastball right there. Boy, you sure acting like Boone there. Oh, am I? Here's a 1-2. Up top, 2-2. But when you hear Boone from Twisters, you would hear him do his little yelp. Yip! Or yip! Like that. Anyway, that was a funny movie, I tell you. I really enjoyed it. Yes, so do I. It was a great movie. Not compared to 1996, where you had Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. Now, you know Bill Paxton is a Fort Worth native, right? Oh, yeah. He was born in Fort Worth, Texas. That's right. Do you know what year he was born in? 1942. I don't know about that, Bob, but that was a swing and a miss right there. And third strikeout going to Ryan Orange. And here is Drew Swift coming in now for Midland. And the pitch is inside for the taken strike, and it's 0-1. Swift's responsibility is to hold that third base area. And so far, that's what he's trying to do. Here's the 0-1. Right there, hit the Rojas at ground hopper. And that's going to give to Castañon there at first. And they're 2 down.
Willie McIver.
Well, Willie McIver coming in now is pretty good right there. Just love the Midland Road Oranges, which that's pretty nice. That's a swing and a miss right there. And the count now is 0-1. You know, way back then, I used to like how Midland would have a dark blue jersey, and then they had a road gray jersey. And, yeah, they got rid of that as well. That's the count now, 0-2. Well, I'll tell you one thing, the Frisco Rough Riders tonight getting some rain. Boy, it's coming down there at Statesman's Park. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning, taking on Corpus Christi, and you see it. Those storms are really starting to come in and fire like nothing else. Well, we do have San Antonio having some thunderstorms as well. Here's the 1-2. That one outside, 2-2. Pretty good right there, and evidently really good. Here's the 2-2. That one hit high in the air up to center. Mears will have it, and that is the inning. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Midland as we head to the 4th inning. And it is San Antonio leading it by 2-0. We're back here after this as first baseman Marcos Castañon will lead it off for the San Antonio Missions when we come back. Well, we're back for the top half of the fourth inning for San Antonio, right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, thank you, Bob. Marcos Castañon coming in. The Mission's holding a 2-0 lead against the Rockhounds. And we're on to the fourth. That one's going to be right there. He dives for it. Boy, look at that play. Right there at the knees. And he stopped it there. Boy, and just a way to get something going. Throw down to first and they'll get him. One down here is Jacob Campbell. And that's going to be a liner up to straightaway center. That's a base hit. Well, evidently San Antonio trying to put more runs on the board, and so far already 2 come across to score through the entire start of this game. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be right there out of play to the designated hitter, Cole Roederer. Runner at first, 1 away here in this half inning. And a pitch. That is fouled. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. It's ready to go. That is right there. The second, and they got him. That is a double play for Midland, and that's Taco Villa for everybody in tonight's crowd. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on. 4.5 as San Antonio leads it 2-0. Arabelle Angeles will lead it off for the Rockhounds. When we come back, it's 2-0 San Antonio. Well, we head to the bottom of the fourth inning right now for the Midland Rockhounds, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Here is Arabelle Angeles as we lead off the bottom of the fourth for Midland. And the pitch. That one is outside, a slider. The count now 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2-0 ball game for San Antonio. And that's a swing and a miss, and the count now 1-1. Boy, tell you one thing, pretty good and always good to come aboard. That one high in the air. Shortstop Leo Dallas will have it. And that's 1 away. Boy, that should have been an infield fly rule, but evidently the home plate umpiring crew does not call it that. Here is second baseman Colby Halter. Halter coming in, ready to go. Hits that one out of play and foul. And the count now is 0-1. Kind of funny, a look on the Tulsa Drillers, and they call themselves the Tulsa chicken dancers. That's pretty funny. I bet when they play that music, they go dancing like a bunch of chickens.
0-2 is the count.
You know, Tulsa having a 4-0 lead against their North rival, the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Pretty good. They're wearing their Tulsa chicken dancer uniforms tonight there at DCJ Field. What a pretty funny thing.
Now batting, right fielder.
But evidently through the
Mankiel.
month of August where San Antonio goes to Tulsa, missions and drillers will just be abnormal. That means jerseys will be home and, well, gray and blue or even gray and white. That one right there, high in the air, and that will land inside the bullpen. And the count now 0-1 to Nate Nankiel. Here's a pitch right there out of play. And the count now 0-2. Well, I tell you one thing, pretty nice evening here in Midland. And yeah, pretty good one throughout the Texas League. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And that's 3 up, 3 down, and a strikeout. And pretty good about that. So no runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Midland. As we head to the 5th inning, San Antonio leads it 2-0. We're back here with third baseman Yendry Rojas as he leads it off for the San Antonio Missions here in this one. So you're listening to us on Rockhounds Baseball. It's San Antonio 2, Midland 0. Leading off the top of the 5th inning for San Antonio, third baseman Yendry Rojas. Thank you, Bob. And he comes to the plate now. 5th inning set to go, 7, 8, 9. Due up for San Antonio. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be a liner up to straightaway center. That's a base hit. Go pretty good right there. The leadoff man comes in and powers one right to the center field area. Norwillian Cedeno coming in now. Still a 2-0 ball game, San Antonio. Still holding the 2 runs. And that's right there. Another leadoff base hit. Boy, 2-1 and nobody out.
Number 94.
Here in the top of the 5th inning for the Missions. And boy, pretty good right here as they are going to try to come through and score in more. That one powered to the right field area. Shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries coming in was the last time up for the double that he had. So no balls and a strike to DeVries. And the pitch. That is right there. And that's a base hit. 3 back-to-back singles. And the bases now loaded for San Antonio.
Now batting, the left fielder, Albert Fabian.
And that'll bring up left fielder Albert Fabian back to the order as we head to the top of the batting order. But time now is being called as here comes the manager out of the Midland Rockhounds bullpen. And so far, that's going to do for Colin Palouse as he exits this one. Well, he stands the biggest responsibility to allow those 3 runners on bases, so the bases are loaded for San Antonio. Ben Bowden, the left-hander, coming in as he'll greet the manager and his catcher. And so far, pretty good. Boy, we look at Cole Winn. He was recalled by Texas, 5 out of 15. 0 ER in 12 games. Pretty good. Even with Round Rock for AAA, that's also pretty good. Left fielder Albert Fabian. Boy, he could get this one powered headed out of here. A grand slam for San Antonio would make it 6-0. And a pitch. That's going to be right there. That's a liner. Deep dive catch right there to the right fielder. And that's out there for out number 1.
Now batting, the catcher.
By golly.
Salas.
So nobody advances. And that was a deep dive catch right there. Here is Ethan Salas. Salas coming in, takes a inside strike. And it's 0-1 to him. 2 groundouts is 0 for 2. We're starting to see a little rain there in Frisco, Texas. Rough Riders and Corpus Christi tonight there at Statesman's Park. And that's going to be blistered high in the air, and they can't get there. Here comes 1 run. Here comes another. And boy, howdy, just look at that. He comes in, and a double play. And there's 2 down, so 4-0 San Antonio. Almost a double play. They get the runner out there, 2 runners out there at third base, trying to fight over that thing. That's going to be right there up to left field. That's a base hit. A run in to score, and that's going to be an automatic double. So now San Antonio leads at 5-0 against Midland, and they're not done yet. Now, I got to say, John, absolutely right. Boy, and tell you what, I mean, something like that goes on, and it comes in pretty good. That's unclutched hitting right there. Yeah, for sure, Bob. Here's pitch. That's going to be a liner. Boy, that is bashed right there off the wall. And that's going to be an out, but a run in to score. And San Antonio scores a big number. And they come in 6-0 here as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning for the Rockhounds. So 6-0 San Antonio here in this ball game. Nick Kurtz coming in as we lead off the 5th for Midland when we come back. Bottom of the fifth inning for Midland, right now in the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Oh dear, Bob, I tell you one thing, turn that thing down, will you? Oh, apologize, John. Well, here is Nick Kurtz leading it off for Midland, 4, 5, and 6. Due up here in this ball game. That one is a slow roller right to DeVries. And that given to Castagnon as that is out number 1.
The left fielder, number 10.
Boy, first pitch, slow roller.
Trinkle.
And that's the out. Here's the left fielder, Caden Trinkle. Trinkle coming in, ready to go. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Boy, getting him on that first pitch in for strikes. It's really good. Yeah, it sure is, John. Got a great crowd tonight. We got a lot of fans watching from San Antonio as well. That one hit high in the air, and that is out of play. So the count now, 0-2. Looking in is Ryan. And the pitch. And that is fouled off. He'll see another. Amarillo up front. 3-2 against Springfield. Top of the 7th, runner in the scoring position there at second. 0-2. Right there, and swing and a miss. That's 2 up, 2 down. And that looks like another back out strikeout.
Nick Schwartz.
And that'll bring up Nick Schwartz. Schwartz coming in, ready to go. The pitch. That's down and inside, strike 1. Great Midland Rockhound crowd, right, Bob? Gotta say, absolutely right, John. Really good. The pitch is inside for a strike, and it's 0-2. You know, with the Frisco Rough Riders, they're having their 6-game set with Corpus Christi, and then another 6-game set with Midland. Yep, I got to say the 12-game homestand there at Statesman's Park going pretty good for the Rough Rider fans. Nah, for sure. No balls to 2 strikes. It could be Ryan Orch's last half inning. Right there, called third strike and sets down the side in order. So no runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Midland as we head to the 5th inning, or top of the 6th inning. I do apologize. 6th inning coming up. San Antonio leads it 6-0. As Jacob Campbell comes in, the right fielder will be in for San Antonio when we come back. Well, leading off the top of the sixth inning for San Antonio is right fielder Jacob Campbell. And here's John. Thank you, Bob. And we're back here at the ballpark. Nicely done deal of clouds as we have the orange hue again as the last couple of nights. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Boy, we've had clouds. Fourth night in a row that we see some pretty good looking clouds. That's right there. That's a liner straight away. And that's going to be a base hit, but that will just be a single only. Campbell thought it would go wisely to a double, but instead he did not take any chances. Cole Roederer coming in. 6-0 San Antonio lead. That's a pitch inside, and it's a count now 0-1. Fly out and a ground out 0 for 2 by the DH here for San Antonio tonight. Boy, pretty good evening thus far. And a pitch. That is right there. Up to right field, and that will get down for the out. Towards the right fielder.
The batter, the third baseman, Gendry Rojas.
Here is Gendry Rojas. Hot corner man for San Antonio. 1 for 2 and a single. Boy, look like thunderstorm clouds over that direction. Even though Brady and those areas tonight should get a little rain. Yeah, I wish Midland would get a little rain. Shh, don't say that. They're trying to complete this series and evidently let it rain when the Rockhounds are up in Frisco. That is right there. That's going to get up to deep right. That's going to get falling down for a base hit. And second and third now as Rojas had the stand-up double.
The batter, the second baseman, Nerwillian Cedeno.
And that's going to bring in Nerwillian Cedeno as he comes in. A pretty good base hit right there for San Antonio. And so far, that was one of the most coolest base hits we've ever seen. And that's right there. That's a fair ball. It gets down. 1-run scores. 2-run score. 2-run double. Here we go. He's up at the plate. That'll make it a 8-0 lead for San Antonio. And 2 more insurance runs come in for the Missions. So a 2-run in for a double. And now here comes the manager, as that will do for the reliever tonight. So far, they handpick another reliever. That is Jack Perkins. Perkins pitched in last night's ball game. So 4-seam, circle, chain slurve, a cutter, and a sinker. Pretty good night thus far for San Antonio. They have 8 runs. And that's going to be right there, gloved by the second baseman for the out. Boy, that could have been a dangerous fastball right there if it would have got past him. And it would have brought the 9th run for San Antonio in to score. The next batter up is left fielder Albert Fabian. Fabian coming in, ready to go. Here's the pitch. That one is driven high, nicely up to center. And that will do it. Well, 2 more runs in to score for San Antonio as they come in on a 2-run double. And that will pretty much do it. So we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. San Antonio leading it by 8-0. Henry Bolt coming in for Midland as we start the 6th inning for the Rockhounds when we come back. Well, we lead it off for the bottom half of the sixth inning. Here is Henry Bolt. John Baker, take it away. Thank you, Bob. And before we get started with the first pitch, the bottom of the sixth inning, Omar Cruz will step in and get the ball from the manager as he'll pitch in relief. Cruz now pitching for San Antonio. Thank you, John. And good thing about that, too, is they do a pitching change on that for sure. Henry Bolt coming in. Takes that one down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. 8-0 San Antonio. Ball game for 8 whole runs for the San Antonio Missions. So pretty good night thus far for this team and stuff. Even though they've lost 3 of their last 6.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And pretty good about that as well. That one's slow roller up in front of Cedeno. Give it to Castañon. And that is out number 1. Bolt goes down retired. Drew Swift coming in now. And the pitch. That one high in the air up to right field. Campbell under it, makes the grab, and there are 2 down.
Now batting, catcher Willie McIver.
Willie McIver coming in now, 0 for 1 with a flyout. So pretty good right there. 2 down in this half inning. That one high in the air, up to right field is Campbell. And there are 3 pitches going to 3 outs, but that will do for this half inning. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left on. And San Antonio keeps Midland off the board once again, 8-0 San Antonio. Ethan Salas coming in for the Missions. When we come back, it's the top half of the 7th inning when we're back here on MLB Network. Top half of the 7th inning set to go for San Antonio, right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Ethan Salas coming up now as, boy, already 7th inning set to go, and Midland still being shut out. That one is blistered high in the air, and that goes to the right fielder for the out.
The center fielder, number 14.
Boy, what a way that goes. One pitch, one high fly, and it does it justice right there. Center fielder Joshua Mears coming in. Starting to see a pretty good sunset with the clouds glowing orange. Just absolutely love that color. That is beautiful color. Same as the orange Rockhound jerseys we're seeing tonight. That one up top, and that'll be the count now.
Now batting, the first baseman.
Getting off and 2 away. Marcos Castañon is 2 for 3 tonight with a double. And the pitch. And that's going to be a liner. That's straightaway left center. And that's getting down for a base hit. Boy, Midland sure is riding the wild bronc in the rodeo.
Number 7.
Yeah, and they're getting bucked off by the wild bronc. Yeah, they sure are. 5-hole batter, right fielder Jacob Campbell coming in. And he hits that one. That is high. And that is out of here. A 2-run shot by Jacob Campbell. Stretches the lead to now 10. It's now San Antonio 10, Midland 0. Boy, I tell you one thing. These guys come in and they lost the last 3 of this 6-game set. And they're coming back and they're starting to whoop butt tonight. Yeah, they sure are, John. Now they're really riding some wild broncs. That's going to be right there, and that's going to get down. Another base hit. And that could have went for a triple if he would have stayed on course, but evidently a 2-out double. We'll keep them going. Yeah, for sure. There's the pitch, and that's going to be right there. High in the air up to center, and the center fielder will make the grab, but that will do it. But right fielder Jacob Campbell gets a 2-run shot, and it's a 10-0 shutout as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. San Antonio has a big margin now, 10-0. Urabel Angeles leads it off for the bottom half of the 7th for Midland when we come back. Well, hope everybody had a good stretch inning because we're ready for more baseball. The Rockhounds coming to bat, and that will bring in Urabel Angeles. John, take her away. Thank you, Bob, and Urabel Angeles coming in. The bottom of the seventh inning here tonight as it's a 10-0 shutout. And boy, San Antonio really getting after Midland. And here's the 0-1. That one is a slow roller. Cedeno gives it to Castañon. There had plenty of time for the out at first.
Second baseman, Colby Halter.
Colby Halter coming in now. 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out. Starting to see some thunderstorms developing south of San Antonio. They look like they're pushing towards San Antonio. That's right there in the count now. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. That is right there out of play. And the count now 0-2. 10-0. San Antonio. All 10 runs earned for the Missions. That one is high in the air, up to left. Fabian has it, and that is out number 2.
The right fielder, number 19,
Nate Nankill coming in is 0 for 2 and 2 strikeouts. And the pitch. Right there, and now to play foul. So still hanging on at no balls and 1 strike. Well, that front end of seats were pretty much filled up with our guests here tonight. But evidently, they probably went off to a concession stand and that one high in the air, and that is out of this one, and that's 3 up, 3 down as we end 7 complete. Well, San Antonio still leads this game 10-0 as we head to the 8th inning. Here for the Missions, it's Cedeno, Leo Dallas, DeVries, and Albert Fabian to lead it off for the top half of the 8th inning. Set to go for San Antonio right after these commercial messages. Top half of the 8th inning for San Antonio right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, Norwelli and Sedano coming in as we're set for this top half of the 8th inning. Boy, the ball game going pretty good as starting to see some pretty good orange and reds in those clouds. Ball game nearly coming to an end here tonight. It is 8:59 and so far pretty good on that as well. No balls, 2 strikes to Sedano. Starting to see a little thunderstorm activity just to the right field wall. That's going to be right there and out of play as that will be one away.
The batter, number 94.
Here is shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries. 2 for 3, double, single, and a run. Here's the pitch. That's right inside for a taken called strike. And it's 0-1. Boy, San Antonio trying to get some more runs before the end of the day. And that's going to be blistered high in the air, deep to right, and that is out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down.
Fielder, number 30, Alberts.
And here is the left fielder, Albert Fabian. Boy, just a couple of days where we've seen the sky glowing oranges and reds and all types of stuff. Well, sun fixing to go down, all that fixing to get out of here as well, and that's going to be a liner straightaway right center field. That's a base hit, and that's going to be a double for the left fielder, Albert Fabian. Boy, San Antonio coming up with a game. Third loaded up at 2 away. Boy, San Antonio keeps this up. They could win this one and eliminate the losing streak for San Antonio. So the right-hander is relieved out of this ball game by the manager.
Now pitching for the Rockhounds.
The manager will bring forth Tanner Dodson.
Dodson.
4-seam slider, a curveball, and a 2-seam fastball coming in for the Rockhounds. Dodson now pitching for Midland. First and third, 2 away. Joshua Mears will meet up Tanner Dodson. As that's a taken in strike, and it's 0-1. Stadium lights illuminating the field now. Pretty good. As now the sun goes down and the clouds are not glowing anymore. Maybe just little bit by little bit. That's right there. Gloved by the second baseman for the out. And that will conclude this half inning. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. And we now head for the bottom of the 8th inning as San Antonio leading this game 10-0. So Nick Kurtz will come in as we start up the bottom of the 8th. When we come back, San Antonio 10, Midland 0. Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for Midland. The next batter up, Nick Cruz. It's Kurt's Donkey Boy. Donkey Boy Bob, I should say. But anyway, thank you, Bob. You're truly welcome. And here's the pitch right there, and that's in for a strike. And the count now, 0-1. No, Bob, I just kid around with you. Don't take it seriously. Yeah, I know. You love to kid around. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Boy, chasing that fastball. As for strikes. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. The changeup gets him fooled. And there's one up, one down.
The left fielder,
Left fielder, Caden Trinkle coming in.
Trinkle.
10-0 San Antonio in this ball game. Here's the pitch. That's inside for a strike. And it's 0-1. No balls and one strike. The pitch. That is a slow roller. And DeVries gets it right there. And that's safe as they tried to get him. And that's going to be a fielder's choice on a base hit. Boy, shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries tries to get in there. That one lifted high in the air up to right field. Campbell will make the grab. And they're two down.
Now batting, center fielder Henry Bolt.
Henry Bolt coming in now. Yeah, his last name, B-O-L-T, no E. The E is always silent. So right there in the count now, 0-1 to the 7-hole batter, Bolt. And the 0-1. That's a swing and a miss.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And the count now is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one lifted high in the air. And that will go foul. Right fielder tries to chase it, but it will land out of play. Land out of touching, perhaps. Yeah, right there, the count now 0-2. Well, still hanging on. In this one. Swing and a miss. Get him down on strikes. And that's how the 8th inning comes to a complete conclusion. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left on for Midland. As we head to the 9th inning, San Antonio leads at 10-0. We're back for the 9th inning as we get set for that. And so far, pretty good on this ball game for San Antonio. We'll be right back with more Rockhounds baseball. San Antonio 10, Midland nothing. Top of the ninth inning for San Antonio right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, Marcos Castañon coming in as we're set to go. Boy, cloud cover starting to intensify as we go through the evening. No balls, one strike to the first baseman. And that one is blistered. Boy, forget about it because it is out of here. And make that 11. Jeez. Castañon gets in there and whacks that to Kingdom Come. 418 foot, 104.5 miles per hour. The exit velocity is really good. He gets in there, and now the next batter up is Jacob Campbell. San Antonio 11, Midland nothing. Boy, Midland trailing a big lead now. Probably might be too late for them to ever come back in this one. Well, I don't know, John. They got 3 outs to their advantage. They might get something going. Yeah, that is for sure. That is high in the air. And that's going to bounce off the wall. And that's going to be the leadoff double by Campbell.
Designated hitter, Cole Roederer.
Cole Roederer coming in now. Boy, cloud cover's starting to get in here this evening. Could have some storms, but evidently not ruling anything out. Here comes a runner, and he's going to try to beat the ball, and he's out. And that's a double play. So 2 away now. Boy, he should have stayed at second, and that was a big, costly decision. There's the third base look as he is out. And evidently, the camera does not lie. Yendry Rojas coming in. And the pitch is right there. That's right in front of him. Real leadoff base hit.
Now batting.
So 7-hole batter gets on base. That's a runner with 2 away. Here's the pitch. That is lined right to right, and that's a base hit. So 2-1 with 2 away here in this half inning. 12th run in scoring position now for San Antonio. One of the Missions looked like they had this one in the bag. That's going to be right there. And that's going to get down a base hit. 12 runs come in. 13 runs coming in. And they are up 13-0.
Albert Fabian.
Boy, and they are really just giving Midland a whooping of a lifetime. Yeah, they sure are, Bob. They are really going after them. Well, time is called as the skipper comes out of the bullpen, and that will pretty much do for this guy. Well, he gave up 4 runs.
Now pitching.
And so far, they're going to call in Jack Weisenberger.
Jack Weisenberger.
As he comes in, and he tried to eat up at least the last out of this half inning and try to get the bottom of the 9th going. Runner at second, 2 away. Left fielder Albert Fabian comes in, and he's going to power that one right there. That is gone. And now 15-0. Boy, I tell you what, San Antonio is really upset about losing those 3 games of this series. This kind of reminds me what happened in Frisco on Wednesday morning when the Corpus Christi Hooks, or was that Tuesday morning? But anywho, Corpus Christi really had the Rough Riders on the run. It was 19-11 the final as Corpus Christi took that game. But even though they came back, the Rough Riders, a Grand Slam winning home run, putting them 12-9 the final on a Wednesday morning. So pretty good on that. No balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Salas. And that one's going to be high in the air. And that's going to be the final out. But more home runs come in bunches. Boy, howdy. We are bottom of the 9th inning as San Antonio has the upper hand. It's 15-0. So Drew Swift will lead it off for Midland. And I say again, San Antonio leads this ball game 15-0 here in this broadcast. Bottom half of the ninth inning set to go for Midland right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, Drew Swift, the next batter up for the Rockhounds. Boy, big lead for San Antonio, and I think they've already got this one in the bag tonight. That one high in the air up to left field. Fabian will get to the warning track to make the catch, and there is one away.
Now batting, the catcher, Willie McIver.
Willie McIver coming in now. Down to the final 2 outs of this ball game on this Friday night. And that's going to be a leadoff single for McIver as he comes in. Trying not to be a shutout for the Rockhounds tonight, but evidently for this whole game alone for Midland, they have been scoreless. And that's going to be right there, another base hit. So 2 back-to-back base
Now batting,
hits.
second baseman, Colby Halter.
It still puts them a long way from catching up to San Antonio. Here is Colby Halter. That one high in the air, and that is out of play. And the count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Halter. And he'll take that one in for strike 2. And it's 0-2. San Antonio 15, Midland 0. 2-1 with 1 away. That one is fouled off. Boy, and the Missions have the upper hand. They've had the upper hand through the start of this ball game tonight. And that is a swing and a miss, and they're down against it to their final out. The right fielder, Nate Nankiel, who was 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Here's a pitch. That one is high, and that'll go out of play foul, and it's 0-1. Final out here in this half inning. San Antonio trying to get that out. And that's going to be a base hit up the middle. And here he comes. Is in to score. And they are not going to be shut out no longer. As now it's a 14-run lead for San Antonio. Here's the pitch, and that's in for a strike, and it's 0-1 to Nick Kurtz. 1 for 3 and a single. Here's the pitch. That one is high in the air. And Joshua Mears makes the grab, and that's the ball game. Final score, San Antonio 15, Midland 1. And what a night we've had. Well, first W on the road for the San Antonio Missions. You know, and 2 more games there in Midland, and I'm going to say the San Antonio Missions finally get a big win. After losing 3, they will finally conclude a big 3-game losing streak. That'll put Midland at 22-15. San Antonio now new at a 18-19. So pretty good on that. Well, go ahead and check that ball game up in Corpus Christi. Or should I say Frisco? Frisco and Corpus Christi. Yeah, we'll be right back after this, after we get our final scores inside. And we'll have to see who's winning what. So do believe, I think Amarillo came in. So we would have to look. The app is taking its time. But anyway, we'll go ahead and give you the final runs, hits, and errors of tonight's broadcast. Well, for San Antonio, 15 runs on 25 hits, no errors. And for Midland, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. Marcos Castañon is a 4 for 5, a home run, and 2 doubles. So he'll be our player of the game for San Antonio. Winner on the mound is Ryan Oates as he comes in. And the loss for Midland goes to Colin Palouse. But anyway, we'll go ahead and boy, Amarillo sure did get a win this evening against the Springfield Cardinals. So now they'll tie up with the San Antonio Missions. The Springfield Cardinals now 17-20. So that ball game has concluded. Corpus Christi and Frisco there at Statesman's Park. It looks like the Hooks will have another victory. There are 2 outs. They're at the bottom of the 9th, but evidently the score is Corpus Christi 4, Frisco 3. And so far we will keep that game right where it is. And we'll not decide on that one too quickly on that. So evidently the Tulsa Drillers and Northwest Arkansas, they are tied at 5 in the top of the 9th inning. So that game is still a no decision as of this point forward. Arkansas, boy, they get a first place spot. And so far they take it back. Now 21-16. Wichita now 20-17. So that means that Arkansas will take the first place position. Pretty good on that. So good night there in Wichita for the Arkansas Travelers. Our 4 finalists, Corpus Christi, Frisco, and Northwest Arkansas and Tulsa, still going at it at this hour. So far, if we do stay on the line and try to get Corpus Christi and Frisco, we'll evidently have to see what's going on there in the Rough Riders organization. But yeah, evidently what a day it's been. And yeah, just glad it's almost over for us. Well, it seems like Corpus Christi and Frisco now tied at 4. So it looks like they'll go into extra innings. So it's 5-5 Northwest Arkansas and Tulsa. Corpus Christi and Frisco are tied at 4. So free baseball for the 4 ball clubs that will see extra innings. So they'll head to the 10th inning there at Statesman's Park. And we'll see what goes on from there. But anyway, we are going off the broadcast, and we will see you guys tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, our first pitch. So y'all have a good night. So the final, one more time, the San Antonio Missions 15 and the Midland Rockhounds 1.